Well, I guess there's enough fish in the harbor to support all these cormorants. My path back to my slip had me out on this tack right through I guess their fishing grounds. It's interesting to hear them all taking off. There's quite a few birds there. So I just wanted to close off this video on my electric motor. Just to close off summary, I'll do some performance testing and include them in the video. But when I installed it originally, it looked like it was going okay because it was in the air, but then under load, when I dropped it in the water, advancing the throttle in forward or reverse would cut out, and even at a lower RPM, it kind of works out to maybe about 10-15% power. Even at that low amount of power, it would just cut out and reboot is actually what was happening. So the unit isn't supposed to do that. So I suspected that it was the controller, and I kind of suspected for about 3 days. I tried different things. I finally talked with Golden Motor, and they were very good. He gave me another one to try. So I got to bring the other one back for him. But essentially, what was wrong with it was the controller. Even though I didn't quite have things aligned, my neighbor Dustin here gave me a hand. I popped over and he took a look at my pulley alignment, and he showed me that if the belt is, because it's an 1.5-inch wide belt, so if the front is a different tension than the back, then that's how you can tell which way the alignment was, and it was wearing a little bit funny. So I can see that I straightened it a lot more, but it needs a little bit of straightening. So what did I learn? I learned that trust your instinct. I knew that it was the controller, and I should have just did that first. 4 days diagnosing, troubleshooting, opening up a post on the forum, a lot of good help, a lot of good ideas. Just was none of it was any very good, except for the one gentleman who runs the bolt, and he said that it sounded like the controller was faulty, and that sort of seconded what I was thinking. So that part was good to resolve. So pretty glad about that. So it's June 12th. I still got a lot to do, get the solar panels on. It's a little bit windy for me to go out by myself. Tomorrow evening it's going to be pretty quiet, so I'm going to motor out during the day around 2 o'clock, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a light sailing to test the sails out, because it's going to be 4 knots, so it's pretty light. I should be able to single handle docking tomorrow, so I just got to remember to move all my buoys to the other side, because I normally go in frontwards, so I can step off myself when I single dock at the at my finger. Well, it's a pretty 0.6 knot wind day, so a good day to test the motor. I know I'll probably get a couple of knots out there. I ran this motor test for about 20 minutes here, just getting out of my slip and just a little bit into the harbor. And I used about 5% of my total capacity. I have 8 6-volt deep cell batteries in series, and they are rated at a draw rate of 25 amps. I should get 440 minutes. So my battery monitor was pretty close. 20 minutes used up 5%, so that's about the same rate. So I wasn't pushing it too hard. So as long as I keep it under the 30 amp mark, then I'm going to get pretty close to 400 minutes out of my batteries. Probably coming in at about 1.5 knots around this large houseboat here, and then I find that as long as I've got a little bit of a headwind, I pretty much drift to zero by the time I get to the dock. If I don't have any headwind or I've got a tailwind, then sometimes I have to put a little reverse on. Well, single-handed docking here, I think I did pretty good if I remember right. Coming in, that's not too difficult with this low wind. That's a little harder when I've got a tailwind. You know, an experienced sailor once told me, he says, if you're bored coming in, then you're going at the right speed. If you're not bored, then you're coming in too fast. Alright, getting those lines ready. Get that brake line on. Nice. And here I'm just making sure, second guessing myself, is this brake line going to hold? And it does. It snaps over. I think the one drawback of this electric motor when I come in is that my neighbors don't hear me anymore. The gas motor was a little bit louder, so somebody else would always run out and give me a hand. So solo docking, I've been doing a lot more solo there recently with this electric motor. Nobody can hear me coming in.